Nestled in the hills of Georgia lies a road course perhaps best known for the Petit Le Mans, the IMSA WeatherTech Sports Car Championship season finale. But when 600 horsepower P2 machinery is not ripping down the S's, it's a club circuit, playing host to Grid Life, the SCCA, and other organizations. Tonight, it hosts the hashtag Grid Life iRacers League in their second round of the season. After a wild Watkins Glen, Kenton Cook has proven to be the one to beat, but DJ Alessandrini, Ken Hauseal, and Rob Wilkinson are going to be right there on his gearbox. Can Michelin Pilot Challenge driver Tom O'Gorman steal a victory early in the season? Find out tonight in tonight's two-race event that begins now. Welcome to Road Atlanta and Sim TV, and welcome also Brooks Church, a new commentator here tonight, and joining us to help commentate the second race of the season. Brooks, welcome.
Oh, thank you very much. I'm happy to be here.
Well, this is certainly going to be a fantastic race. We're just about 6.5 minutes remaining left in qualifying right now. So a lot of drivers have already taken their laps, but one guy working through it right now is John D. Allen in the 51 car. Obviously has experience in the real-world Spec MX-5 Cup Series, or actually not the Spec MX-5 Cup Series, the Global MX-5 Cup Series. And currently 5th on the board in that 51 car. But right at the top, Ken Hauseal in that 23. Brooks, Ken has been so dominant, but you know one guy that's been really struggling so far this season is Eric Coutil in that 82 car, really far down in the point standings after crashes at Watkins Glen. So I think qualifying is super important at a track like Road Atlanta, but what can Eric do to make sure that he doesn't crash out again? Because obviously the points situation not looking great for him.
Well, probably not follow my guidelines. Coming from a drifter, I crash a lot. But I think it's still early enough in the season. You can obviously bounce back from this pretty easily. But just being consistent, trying to find your braking markers, and really paying attention to the car ahead of you. You know, try to really, really judge and try to be ice cold and wait for the exact moment to make the move. And just trying to be super aggressive. At the end of the day, points are good, whether you win or not. Points are good rather than, you know, obviously 12 out.
Absolutely, and there are 61 cars registered for this race tonight, Brooks, and obviously that's a lot of cars. That's especially to have at a racetrack like Road Atlanta. It's obviously pretty wide, but this will be similar to Watkins Glen, and it'll be kind of a draft pack tonight. So how does that affect the racing here if you're coming from the back?
If you're coming from the back, you just kind of have to take your opportunities when you can. And the biggest thing is there's hopefully enough cars ahead of you kind of wipe themselves out, so you have the opportunity to move up quickly without sacrificing too much of your own.
And obviously when you invert the grid, or at least partial part of the grid in race number 2, you're going to invert the top 10 after race 1, so that's going to create a little bit of an interesting dynamic. But if you're coming from the back, I think the best thing you're going to do, if you're really at John Carter, Nathan Schlavine, if you're any of those guys, you're going to want to probably just be smooth and work your way as far up the order as you can in race 1, because where you finish in race 1 is where you're going to start for race 2 if you're 10th on back. So if you can get yourself into 20th, that's even a great starting spot. That'd be up 40 spots if you started dead last.
Yeah, and always, you know, they tell you from day one of driver school, smooth is fast.
Smooth is fast.
I mean, that's what I always preach.
Smooth is fast, but how about the curbs here at Road Atlanta? They're very, very tall here, and the drivers are probably going to want to climb these curbs to make the most of their lap.
Yeah, I come from obviously mid-Ohio and stuff, and our curbs aren't very much at all. But obviously at Road Atlanta, after driving this track a few times, those can really, really unsettle your car. And at the bottom of the S is a nice big dip right there. That can really, really load up your suspension, so you have to really pay attention to that as well.
Looking at Road Atlanta, there's a lot of passing opportunities, 12 turns around here, but some of the corners are blind, and some of them are downhill, and some of them are high-load, high-G corners. What's the best place to pass around here?
Obviously, underneath any major braking zone, your back straightaway, front straightaway is always a really, really good option, in my opinion. Also, going back into the boot, you have a lot of opportunities, and it's a big, big, wide track that's very, very smooth. So I would always try and do it under braking. That's just my personal opinion, because I've always had that kind of luck.
Absolutely. Take a look at the conditions tonight. It's 86 degrees, track temp 69 degrees in the air, so comfortable afternoon. The track isn't too hot and slick, which means it's going to be a pretty high grip environment. Partly cloudy skies, so a beautiful day here in Georgia to run the second round of the season. And Brooks, how's that iRacing going for? I know you were still loading in.
It's still updating, so I'm going to be a little bit behind on it, but probably be live for race 2. But I'm actually in Atlanta, Georgia right now, and hate to say it, it's quite opposite of all those conditions you just said.
Well, I'm up in Binghamton, New York, so it's very opposite of those conditions I just said. So,
oh, absolutely.
Yeah, it's not so pretty up here right now. But 2.5 minutes left in qualifying here, and Rob Wilkinson, we're watching right now in the 37 car, sitting 8th right now, and that's going to be a great spot for him to start. And I believe he picked up a win in the Porsche Cup Series that Track Midwest this league was formerly known as Track Midwest. He picked up a victory there, but not yet in the MX-5s as far as I know. So he's looking forward to probably get himself up in the mix. But this top 10 is extremely strong. Let me just read off some of the names up here. Ken Hausiel, Eric Coutil, DJ Alessandrini, Tom O'Gorman, John D. Allen, Christopher Henn, Luke McGrew, Rob Wilkinson, Alex Barroso, and Kenton Cook. There is so many real-life drivers, real-world professional drivers.
That's a list right there.
That is certainly a list. I mean, that is some pretty awesome stuff there. So looking forward to a very competitive race tonight. Absolutely.
I can't wait. And hopefully my homeboy Eric Coutil, Columbus native like myself, that I really want to see him move forward, and hopefully he can have a nice, clean race this time.
Yeah, sitting second on the grid right now, so he's going to have a great starting spot. But I was watching Ken Hausiel and DJ Alessandrini in practice, and obviously they walk into most races as the favorites. But Eric Coutil is definitely talented enough to kind of mix up that party a little bit. But remember last week, it was Kenton Cook in the final corner at Watkins Glen that threw the fender in there at the last moment. And
yeah, that was tough.
Yeah, that was an interesting moment for sure. And that's always a possibility here as well. That final corner, turn 12, being that long downhill right-hander. It's very wide on entry, and that's a very tempting corner to go up the inside of.
Oh, that is a very tempting corner to go to the inside of. You just got to be really careful of the curb on the inside and the outside. Not only that, if you go a little too far to the outside, you got that grass right there, and that's a big no.
Yeah, the grass, and the curb right there is very narrow, which is very different from at the bottom of the S is that wide curb on exit. That's a great corner to go out wide and get as much room as you can, but the last turn, you don't want to do that.
No, not so much. I've actually kind of scared myself a little bit going down that corner, pushing it a little bit too hard, and obviously over grid life weekends, I've seen a lot of things go really badly there really quickly, so you just got to be really careful and treat that corner with respect. It deserves it.
And speaking of things going badly very quickly, Alex Barroso just wiped out at the bottom of the S's. But that'll pretty much wrap up qualifying. We still have about 35 seconds left here, but there's only one car left out on track, and it is Rob Wilkinson in the 37 car, but now he has stopped. And we'll be right back and join you for the gridding. Stay with us. All right, welcome back to SimTV. Qualifying is complete, and on the pole, it's going to be Ken Hausiel, the number of the 23 car, and by 93 thousandths of a second over Eric Coutil, but there is a whole host of drivers within a second. So this is going to be a really good race. We have 15 minutes on the board and about 10 laps around here at Road Atlanta, but expectations for this race?
Oh, expectations are always high. Hopefully we have a lot better finish than last time, and I just want to see some nice, good, clean driving.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a pretty wild race to start with. It always is here at Road Atlanta. I mean, that first turn, it's very different. A lot of racetracks have a nice tight corner that you can see the apex of, but turn 1 at Road Atlanta is very blind and means that you're not going to be able to see where you're going, especially when you're following 59 other cars.
Yeah, that's a very tough corner, and the elevation is a lot higher up than you think it is.
Yeah, it's a pretty big climb up the hill as we head into turn number 2 and 3. And obviously there's a nice big curb there that drivers are going to want to jump to make the best of their lap. And you're going to see that quite a bit here. So, again, Ken Hausiel on the pole tonight, just waiting for the rest of the field to grid up. And there is quite a few drivers here. And we'll take a look up from the sky and take a look at all the drivers. There are so many on the grid here tonight. And this was the case at Watkins Glen too. Standing start, but there are some drivers all the way back in the chicane coming out of turn 11, so it's going to be an interesting start to say the least.
That's going to be a very interesting start. I'm looking forward to it.
Waiting for a couple stragglers to get to the grid. And just waiting on, I think, 2 or 3 more. I hear the engines revving, and again, this race is brought to you by Grid Life. And Grid Life's motorsport festivals are all over the country this year, and looking forward to seeing some of those, especially Mid-Ohio, I think, is their opening weekend. I think the first weekend in April, I believe. That's going to be a really exciting event, and wish I was going to be there. That was a pretty cool one. All right, lights are on. We're just waiting for the green flag to fly, and Ken Hausiel, the 23, brings them down. Green flag in the air here at Road Atlanta. 15 minutes on the board. Up through the hills they go. trying to get through. I'm having a couple technical issues due to the number of cars here, so I'll get that sorted out as soon as we can. But Ken Hausiel and Eric Coutil have separated themselves. DJ Alessandrini in third as they come down the S's the first time. Coutil, Alessandrini, John D. Allen, Tom O'Gorman, Christopher Henn, your top 5. Rob Wilkinson is there as well. And I'm going to fix this before it gets too much worse, because it's... Okay, that should fix that. There's so many cars here that my computer is struggling to keep up, but Ken Hausiel leads them out of the double right-hander and onto the long back straightaway. This is where the draft's going to come in handy here. So with we're just about a minute in here, and John D. Allen in that 51 is pushing Eric Coutil down the back straight. Alessandrini's moved his way into second, but there's plenty of battles all over the racetrack here. Hernan Palermo in the 39 car is trying to hold off Michael Borden and Dan McVicker as they head down to the chicane. But first time through the chicane, all clean for the leaders right now. Alessandrini second, Coutil third, John D. Allen fourth. And Brooks, obviously there's incentive to race hard early, but how hard is too hard? You don't want to get yourself in a wreck.
I mean, that's going to be up to the driver. I mean, some people can push it right on the edge the entire time. Then you have guys like Tom O'Gorman that are just cold as ice and just completely fluid through every single corner.
And it looks like we have one around. Brandon Cocker in the chicane in the 187 car went for a wild ride and was actually driving against traffic there for a moment. That was a scary situation. He might have gotten some help here. He was the inside of the 27 car. And just kind of, oh yeah, I don't think he gave the 27 quite enough room, so he kind of spun himself out there, but then had the scary moment where he was kind of trying to figure out how to get the thing looped back around, and wow, there was some close quarters there with some drivers on the rumble strips, but got it all sorted out.
Yeah, it was pretty close.
Out up front,
so unfortunately, the problem with iRacing, you don't have a lot of corner workers telling you where to go.
No, absolutely not. And out front, DJ Alessandrini has taken the lead away from Ken Hausiel as we work our way through lap number 2 now. And Hausiel and Alessandrini were duking it out in practice here, but both these cars are extremely strong. But you know, I think the guys behind him might need to work together here, but it seems like John D. Allen has kind of had enough of pushing the 82 of Eric Coutil. He's going to look to the inside of him down the back straight here.
That's a big, nice clean pass. I'm looking...
And up for the lead, here comes Ken Hausiel to the inside. Can he do anything with DJ Alessandrini? These two are just nose to tail every single race. He's going to get the pass done, and also through to second place, John D. Allen. Alessandrini drops 2 spots in one corner, and now Coutil is all over his bumper as they come out of turn 12. And Coutil looking for a pass into turn 1, but going to wait on it here. I think there's a little bit of strategy going on in these drivers' minds here. With 11 minutes remaining, obviously the intensity up front is real. The drivers in the back trying to push and shove their way forward, but right now it looks like everyone's just trying to keep Hausiel and Alessandrini in sight. They all kind of teamed up on Alessandrini through the chicane last time. Let's see, taking a look at the curb cam. There's a couple passes going on. And you want to jump those curbs as violently as possible without throwing your car wide. There's Rob, or the 12th car actually. Whoa, we got one way wide. I'm trying to see who that is. Felipe Christian off the racetrack. I believe that's over in turn number 1. And there was a little bit of carnage down here. Let's take a quick look. Oh, it happened up the racetrack actually. A couple cars got together. The 92 and the trying to see what other car that was getting together there, but carnage in turn 1 once again. But Ken Hausiel, there's side by side for second right now. Ken Hausiel leads, but DJ Alessandrini, Coutil, Tom O'Gorman's in this mix as well. O'Gorman started in 4th place. He's running 5th right now, but trying to get some of those spots back.
That sounds like some good racing.
Down into the chicane once again. Rob Wilkinson gives a shove to Christopher Henn. So a little bit of impatience going on here. I think they know that those leaders are going to get away, and Ken Hausiel is stretched out to 1 second over DJ Alessandrini, Eric Coutil, Tom O'Gorman, and others. And now Alex Barroso in the 39 car, or the 50 car this week, is tucked in and in 7th place right now.
That's just a little push and shove, and just let them know you're there.
I would say so, but the Ben & Jerry's Miata in the hands of Barroso trying to climb forward in 7th. There's John D. Allen. He slipped all the way back to 8th. Now he's moved his way back into 7th. Ooh, a big cut course there for Eric Coutil. I'm surprised that didn't slow him down there. He took a big chunk of curb, and it's very easy to get yourself a penalty at that corner.
Yeah, that's a lot of risk. I'd probably hold off a little bit this early in the race.
But Hausiel's advantage was 0.9 of a second at the line. It's now down to 0.5 of a second. Alessandrini trying to reel him back in. Coutil in third, O'Gorman fourth, Christopher Henn fifth. But Rob Wilkinson dogging the rear end of that 19 car through the double right-hander. And just trying to get a late apex here onto the back straight. That's probably super important with these low-powered cars.
Absolutely. You have to use every single square inch and every single little bit of throttle you possibly can. I think right now they're just starting to get a nice movement together, trying to feel out the track, feel each other out, and kind of see where they can start making some moves and start making some judgment calls.
And this front pack is really broken away. It's the top 11 have about a 6 or 7 second advantage on the rest of the field. But Ken Hausiel continues to lead. He won the pole. I think he's a tick quicker than Alessandrini this week, but Coutil in third is right on Alessandrini's heels. But Tom O'Gorman in the 94, he's looking really aggressive. But where is Kenton Cook? I have not seen him the whole race. And I'm looking throughout the field, and there he is. I just got to grab him. He is sitting in 18th right now, a little bit wide in turn 10. But now he's on the outside of the 27, and Thomas Foose goes around the outside, clears that John Deere-sponsored car, and moves himself into 17th, but a long way to go. And his qualifying effort tonight started 10th, so he got himself wrapped up in something to get him pushed back this far. Oh, got a spin going on. Christopher Potter goes around, and I believe that's also Dan McVicker. And oh, it's going to take out Kenton Cook too. Cook car slams into the tire barrier in turn 1 wall, and Kenton Cook's hopes of climbing forward are over as the field runs together in turn 1. And looks like the 12 of Samuel Elgenbert's got some damage as well, but Christopher Potter and Dan McVicker got the worst of that. Let's go back and take a look. And they were almost 3 wide going into turn 1. I think the 26 car just kind of comes over on Potter's nose a little bit, and they get tagged together, turns the 56 right into Kenton Cook's view. And looks like to the 27 and Thomas Foose also got collected in that. So drama here for one of the front runners. But Hausiel, Alessandrini, Coutil, O'Gorman, Christopher Henn, still your top 5. A little bit of action going on behind him between Barroso and John D. Allen, who's trying to grab some of his spots back after slipping up earlier. How about Carson Smith and Spencer Rutherford side by side down the back straight? This is a battle for 20th at the moment. There's battles all over the field right now. We're just trying to pick the best ones. The 47 of Smith, the 12 of Engelbert, who we just mentioned, and Thomas Foose in this battle as well. Foose was involved in that turn 1 collision. It's a group of 5 cars heading down to the chicane. Oh, contact. They're all crashing. The 27 sliding. Does he save it? He does. I think another one wasn't so lucky. They might have all kept it going straight, but Dan McVicker, I believe, has exited the race. But out up front, though, it's still... Well, it actually changed of position. Alessandrini's gone to the point. Coutil in second. Ken Hausiel to third, so I'm going to assume that they swap spots in the chicane as they've been doing most of the race. But now as Coutil's back in second where he started, trying to hunt back down Alessandrini. All right, well, 6 minutes to go. Is it go time just yet, or are you still going to wait in line until the last corner?
No, I think it's go time at this point.
Up and over the curbs in the second right-hander onto the back straightaway. Now looking behind off the gearbox of Coutil. There is Ken Hausiel in the 23 car. And he's got a big draft now from the 82. Tom O'Gorman's about 6/10 behind this group, so no challenge from the 94 car just yet as they head down to the chicane for what will be the 6th time. But the danger is that Alessandrini gets far enough out ahead where the draft gets smaller and smaller, but Hausiel staying in line. Now he's going to pop out on Coutil. Maybe he thinks he's better off in front of the 82 rather than drafting. He's going to go all the way down to the inside, almost gets to the inside of Alessandrini, but he'll slot into second.
Oh, well done.
Pass completed. Alessandrini, Hausiel, Coutil, your top 3. O'Gorman and Henn round out your top 5. The battle still for second.
Tongue twister there.
Yes, indeed it is. On the front straightaway once again, and Coutil taking a look to the inside, not going to be able to do it that time, but Hausiel is closed back in on Alessandrini. These guys have just been swapping the lead back and forth. I don't know that there's any car that's especially dominant here so far.
I mean, it is a spec class. You can't really have too much domination.
Absolutely. Wow, look at Alex Barroso in the 80 car. Or is that the 60? It's the 60 of Justin Hilly. He's got John D. Allen. John D. Allen has struggled a little bit this race. Started out up front, but has been unable to climb his way back forward. He's back in 9th now. So something's not quite going right with that 51 in this race, but he'll have a chance. Actually, maybe he's thinking about race number 2 and slotting himself into that 10th spot, because then you get to start on pole. Oh, Alessandrini drops a wheel off and slips up a little bit, but they're going to use all the curbing on exit, and Hausiel's going to have a fantastic run down the back straight. We're definitely going to see a pass for the lead here.
Oh yeah, exiting out of the horseshoe there in the back in the boot, that is an absolute key to getting in these cars, especially if you can draft as well.
Right on the rear bumper, here comes the 23. He's going to look to the outside. It looks like Alessandrini's going to go defensive into the chicane. Coutil looking behind. Which line's he going to choose? And it looks like he's going to take a run to the outside of Alessandrini in the chicane as well. Not going to make it there, though. Hausiel to the point in the 23. We'll head on back here to Colin Marzolf in the 84, Danny Hagford in the 7. These guys are battling all the way for 24th, but remember, like I said, if you can start in 20th in race 2, that's an opportunity to win the race if you can just get a half-decent finish. These guys all trying to kind of complete what they started here. We are missing a big chunk of the field, though, from crash damage and incident points. But Alessandrini goes back to the point through turn 1, and these guys have just been continuing to trade spots, and I don't know if we can call this one just yet here. 3.5 minutes left, and they're still swapping spots.
Oh no, it's never over till it's over.
Down the S's once again, using every bit of curb on the left and the right, jumping the cars up and over. On corner exit here, they're going to drive all the way out, almost into the sand. Where does Coutil go? And actually, Tom O'Gorman is beginning to track these guys down. He is now a part of this fight, making a 4-car battle, and Christopher Hen's not too far behind.
Told you, he's calculated. He's smooth. He's cold as ice. He's waiting.
And right on the bumper of Eric Coutil, he's going to get a better run off. Coutil took more curb there. Got a better run through the middle of the corner. Now we'll jump up right on board with Coutil as he follows Hausiel and Alessandrini down the back straight. Amazing how fast these little cars go when you get them in a little pocket of air. Hausiel goes to the grass. Hausiel goes almost to the grass to make a pass on Alessandrini. Drops the left sides off for a moment, gets back on. Coutil's going to make it 3 wide for the lead here at Road Atlanta. Backs out of it. Hausiel's going to run away with this here in a second as soon as he gets clear. And indeed, he does clear Alessandrini. Coutil slips back into third, but O'Gorman is just sitting and waiting. This should be 2 laps to go with 2 minutes and 12 seconds left.
Yeah, that's close. Glad everybody made it through that okay.
O'Gorman now in the 94. He is just waiting to make an opportunity out of this here. He's going to look to the inside of Coutil. Here he comes for third. Up the inside, he's going to take that spot away. Coutil backs away. They're going to climb the hill now. Does Alessandrini take a look to the inside of Hausiel at the top of the hill? Not quite. They're going to just follow each other down the S's now, but that 94 car of O'Gorman has gotten himself into third place. And this is a guy who's been extremely successful in this series, but just has not found victory lane just yet. And I think this could be his day. They're coming to white flag next time by, but the battle is for that lead. Hausiel and Alessandrini, the 2 names that we always talk about here. They have continued to swap positions back and forth. I don't think anybody has led more laps than the other, but that 94 car sitting right in third. And he's got Coutil still all over his rear bumper, and Christopher Hen's in this fight. O'Gorman runs wide. Here comes Coutil to the inside now. So those front 2 pulling away. And Coutil, O'Gorman, and Hen will have to get themselves organized if they're going to take a run at those leaders.
Yeah, they're running out of time. They're going to have to make this move really quickly or just try and save it for the next race. In my opinion, I tried to save it for the next race.
That might be the case. I think there definitely is a way to go overly aggressive here. But Alessandrini, interesting move here. He's actually choosing to sit in behind Hausiel for this the second to last chicane, and O'Gorman gets third place back away from Coutil. But the 23 car leads, and I think this is almost like a NASCAR super speedway situation. You want to be second coming to the checkers, not first. You have a lot more advantage when you're in that second position. Well, Alessandrini's going to prove me wrong. Oh, took a look to the inside, will back out. Now he looks to the outside. Through turn
it's
1.
Like a little fly buzzing all around.
They are buzzing everywhere. They are like little mosquitoes. Up the hill.
Or bees. Ready to sting and attack.
Over the curbs, it looks like Christopher Hen has gotten around Wilkinson for 6th. Or for 5th, excuse me. But down the S's now for the final time. Hausiel's a little bit offline there, but Alessandrini's going to try to follow him through up and over the curbs. And I think Alessandrini's got this one in great shape if he can just hang tight enough to get that draft. Oh, the 94 of O'Gorman spins on corner exit. He spins around, loops it. Hill's going to come out probably 9th or 10th. Make that 11th. So O'Gorman runs from 3rd to 11th with a spin right there. Now Alessandrini tucks in behind, and he's got one last run at him down the back straightaway. Hausiel drags his tires off the edge of the curb. One more time down the back straight. And Alessandrini's got this run now. He's going to take it here because that might open the opportunity for Hausiel to get him back on corner exit. So we might see Alessandrini make his move later. But no, here he comes to the outside. He's going to make this run. He'll probably have this pass completed before they even get to the chicane, but that's definitely a risk because Hausiel can get it back on corner exit. Looks like Alessandrini takes the lead. He's going to go defensive. Here comes Hausiel back to the outside. Will he try to cross him over? Looks like Hausiel didn't get a very good run. Alessandrini's a little bit wide on exit, but coming back to the checkered flag. DJ Alessandrini is going to win here at Road Atlanta by just a couple tenths over Ken Hausiel. Eric Coutil will finish third. What a battle for the lead.
That is an incredible battle. Everybody all over each other, but hey, they kept it straight. They kept it clean, and they kept it fun.
Looks like John D. Allen's going to come home in 7th place. O'Gorman comes home in 11th. That's a disappointing finish for him. There's still racing going on. Andrew Lanning in 12th. Kevin Jander in 13th. Search throughout the field. How about Max Lupfer and Doug Metzel? They're coming back to the checkered flag side by side, but nope, they're going to switch spots, and Lupfer's going to come and take the checkered flag for, looks like that'll be 18th place. Or 15th, excuse me. The rest of the field comes across the line. Ryan Waldo in the 43 got some significant front-end damage from something or somebody. In 48 car, Nathan Schlavine. Where did he start? He started all the way back in 58th and comes home in 26th. What a drive for Schlavine there. That was an incredible run for him.
That was an incredible drive.
Well, how about John Carter too? 59th to 27th.
Got some hard hitters out here.
And Christopher Potter, 21st to 31st. Was obviously involved in that turn 1 incident, so not a great result for him. Brandon Abbott in the 49 will come home 35th, and the rest of the field kind of tinkering across the line here. Lots of damaged cars, though, and there's Rick Cohn in the 98 coming to the checkered flag, and will take home 39th. So your unofficial results here, we'll take a quick look, and then we'll jump to break. And then if you take a look in the video description, we have another stream running simultaneously. So while we're on our about 10 to 15 minute break, go ahead and check out the Fuel Cup Series race from Kansas Motor Speedway going on right now on the other part of the channel. So O'Gorman comes home 11th, Lupfer 15th, Doug Metzel 16th. Good result from Metzel. He's struggled last week at Watkins Glen. Chris Borsma, Carson Smith, and we mentioned John Carter and Nathan Schlavine from 57th and 58th all the way up to the mid-20s. Great results for them. Well, Ken Hausiel lost another one and wasn't able to steal it back away in the last moment. And so he'll come home second. But DJ Alessandrini will start 10th in the second race. But the pole sitter will be Robert Cusera in the 177. So we're going to jump to break in a moment. And go ahead and check out that Fuel Cup Series race at Kansas Motor Speedway being hosted by Finian DeCuna and new SimTV announcer, Jarrett Mackey. Stay with us. Welcome back live here to Sim TV, here for race number 2 of the night, and the last race's winner was DJ Alessandrini. And right now in the number 25 car, and that paint is not loading correctly, but winner from last event and just over Ken Hausiel in the number 23 car, who's back and hopefully can try to prevent that number 25 of Alessandrini from getting back to victory lane. John D. Allen looking for a little bit of redemption after making a couple mistakes in race 1 that led to him not having the greatest finish that he was looking for. Tom O'Gorman in the 94 car spun out on coming to the actually on the white flag lap, so he was pretty close to having a great result there. Ended up finishing 11th. He will start there for race number 2. But we're going to invert the top 10 order from the last race. So the finishing order will take the top 10, we'll flip them around, and then the rest of the field will start as they finished in race number 1. So that's what's coming up here shortly. Robert Kucera in the 177. I believe he's going to be our pole sitter for race number 2. So he's going to be in a great position. Although we've seen in the past that the drivers that start on the pole for race 2 don't necessarily make their way back or keep that lead heading into the closing stages of the race. Usually the guys that ended up starting back in 9th or 10th end up winning the race. So we'll keep an eye on DJ Alessandrini, Coutil, John D. Allen, Tom O'Gorman, and Ken Hausiel. Those are the guys to watch. Thomas Foose in the 27 looking for a little bit of redemption as well after some race 1 incidents. And how about Rob Wilkinson in the 37? He had a pretty good race, but only 19th in warm-up right now, so hopefully he can get that car pointed in the right direction. How about Nathan Schlavin? Went from, I believe it was 57th to 29th or something like that, or 26th. Came up almost 30 spots. That 36 car is really, really quick, that Lego paint scheme vehicle. So we'll see if Schlavin can repeat what he did in race number 1. Christopher Potter in the 9 went the wrong direction in race 1 and ended up being involved in a wreck in turn 1. So we'll see if that number 9 camouflage car can get that thing back up towards the front. Warm-up is over. We'll get gridded up and ready to go racing for the round number 2 here tonight. Again, starting on pole is going to be Robert Kucera in the number 177. Luke McGrew in the 1 car. He's going to be starting in position number 3, so he's in a great spot to advance as well in forward terms. How about Justin Hilly in the 48? He'll be starting in 5th, so a lot of drivers get a great opportunity to start closer to the front than they otherwise would. So this is looking really good for them. How about James Patak in the 72 car? He's going to be starting in 17th. Chris Boersma in the 31. He's going to be 18th. So around the midfield, a lot of really strong cars. Eric Pennington is back here as well in 14th. How about Danny Hagford in the 26 car in 22nd? So a lot of really strong cars will be starting midfield here, so we can't count anybody out. But up front, it's all going to be about, can Kucera in that 177 hang on to this top spot? With the hard-charging cars from behind, the flagman is waiting to drop the green. It's going to be another 15 minutes on the board for race number 2 for the hashtag GridLife iRacers. Round number 2 at Road Atlanta. Green flag in the air, and Kucera takes off. Look at all those cars all over the front straightaway now, trying to get themselves sorted out down into turn 1. You see, that's John D. Allen poking his nose out, I believe. So as they head up the hill here, it's going to be all about getting yourself organized as they head through to the curb cam. Oh, got one on its roof for a moment. We got a big pile up towards the top of the hill here, trying to see who was involved in it. And it was the 87 of Philoppa Christian that was up on his lid, coming up over the top of the hill. And can't seem to grab a hold of him in the replay here. But let it be known that he was on his roof. But right now, Robert Kucera still holds the lead, but that is Christopher Henn out wide at the exit of the second right-hander, and now Tom O'Gorman charging up into the side, the top 10 in that number 94 car. He's trying to get there. Alessandrini holds that 10th spot right now, but battling with Ken Hausiel and Rob Wilkinson for spots as well. But out up front, it's all about Kucera. Here comes Barroso in the 39 car. This is another really strong vehicle we haven't talked about a whole lot tonight. John D. Allen in there as well. He's mixing it up in the 22 car. Looks to the inside. He's going to take a spot away from the 177. Not quite. The 177 fights him off back hard, and it looks like Kucera's going to hang on to that second spot for now with Alex Barroso just pulling away, but there is a huge gap between Barroso and where Ken Hausiel and Alessandrini are. Look at this, 3 wide on the front straightaway. That's John D. Allen out in the grass with Luke McGrew behind this, but Justin Hilly and Kucera all battling for that second spot at the moment. Climbing the hill now once again. Allen and Hilly battling for a spot. Where is Alessandrini, Coutil, and Hausiel? They're right here. 8th, 9th, 10th for Hausiel, Coutil, and Alessandrini. They got a long way to go. Already a 4.5-second gap up to Alex Barroso. Andrew Lanning in the 18 car is following as well. How about Kevin Jander in the 40 car in the middle of all this mess, trying to climb his way forward? Nicholas Nelson in the 663. He's got a slowdown, it looks like. He's going to lose a bunch of spots here. Danny Hagberg, Brandon Cocker, Christopher Potter, all going to get by. Look at this battle. 3 wide here as well. The 49 of Ryan Waldo is going to take a spot away. There's the 187 of Cocker. He had an incident in the first race, trying to rebound a little bit. He's all the way back here in 21st. Takes a spot away from the 26 of Hagford as they work their way onto the back straightaway. Wilkinson and O'Gorman are side by side now as they head down the back straight into the chicane. Wilkinson's got the preferred line, but we've been able to see drivers defend this pretty well on the outside as that chicane goes left and then back to the right. So it looks like Wilkinson's going to back out of it. Hausiel follows O'Gorman up the outside. Look at O'Gorman take a great line through there. Hausiel follows through, but Coutil all over his bumper, and he's going to take a look to the inside of Hausiel, steal this away, and here comes Alessandrini to the inside. And he's going to grab that spot. So move Alessandrini up to 9th. How about Barroso, though, leading by 0.4 of a second. Hilly is taking over second spot. Robert Kucera in third, but John D. Allen is coming in that 22 car to the inside. Takes a look into the curb corner. Great battle between Eric Pennington, Christopher Henn, Kevin Jander, Max Lutfer's in here as well. James Patak in the 72 is following this whole gaggle of cars down the S's. Look at up the road. Up over the curbs, using every little bit of racetrack to their advantage. Other battles going on mid-pack here. Emil Tab, Michael Peters, Bob Kucera, Matthew Bush following this fight. Christopher Potter has slipped to 24th now, so this race not exactly going how he wanted it to either. But let's jump back out front because John D. Allen is in second place looking for the lead on Justin Hilly. Where it happened to our leader? Looks like we've had an issue, and looks like Alex Barroso has crashed out. Barroso is destroyed. That car is totaled and out of this race. Here's a look at the replay. Barroso gets up on the curb on exit here and probably, just takes a huge curb hop into the fence, slides across the racetrack and into the concrete wall, and that will end Alex Barroso's night. Heartbreak for him. But now it's back up to Hilly leading this race by 0.6 of a second over John Allen. Look at Kucera clearing McGrew, but McGrew's going to cross him over. He's going to come to the inside now on the front straight. Looking down, there is, at the rear of that shot, Nathan Schlavin in the 36 car. Started in 25th up to 17th. Very smooth race for him as well. Riding on board Tom O'Gorman's 94 machine as they come down the S's. There's Rob Wilkinson. O'Gorman started in the 11th spot up to 5th, so that 94 car is moving forward. Can he get a cleaner race this time? Look at Wilkinson taking every bit of racetrack and Alessandrini behind. DJ Alessandrini in the 25 car right on the bumper of Wilkinson. You see Wilkinson misses apex here a little bit. All the way out to the curb goes Alessandrini up over the apex curb, and he's going to have a fantastic run on the back straight. And now it's all about the draft game. Battle for the lead, and it looks like John D. Allen has taken the top spot from Justin Hilly into the chicane. That's brought Kucera in here as well. Luke McGrew is also very quick. He actually is the quickest of these front group of cars. So look for him to keep improving. We'll ride on board here for a minute. Now they head up the hill, so Allen has the lead. He's got a pretty commanding one right now, but he slips a little bit. Here comes Hilly back to the inside. Can he do anything with that number 22 car? Look at Christopher Henn hopping the curbs, trying to get everything he can out of that car. All sorts of battles all over the racetrack. Brandon Cocker in the 187 having a much better race this time through. He started back in 32nd. He's up to 19th in that 187 vehicle. Battle for third. McGrew to the outside of Kucera. Can't quite get there, though. They both close in on Justin Hilly and John Allen. Dropping wheels on the exit curb. Now we're going to drive back onto the back straightaway here, and now you're trying to set yourself up. We're about halfway through this race. 7 minutes and 30 seconds remaining. Justin Hilly, is he going to use the draft to get on by the 22, or will he sit here and do what Alessandrini did in race number 1? All down the back straight. It is a game of chess at 100 miles an hour. Look at Hilly pushing John D. Allen down the back straight. Here comes Kucera to the inside. McGrew follows him over. Back out of line. They're trying to duke and dive each other. To the inside goes the 177. Can't quite complete that pass. He'll slot back in line. Ken Hauseal has not made as much progress forward as I would have expected. Neither has DJ Alessandrini. They're both, looks like 7th for Alessandrini, 9th for Hauseal. That just shows you how competitive this is. Look at Tom O'Gorman in here in 4th now. Takes a spot away from Wilkinson and McGrew and has now slotted himself in the 4th spot. He is coming again. Up the hill to the curbs. Look at John Allen using every little bit of racetrack. They are so incredibly tight here. One little mistake is all it takes to throw this away. Down the S's, up and over the curbs. And Hilly's beginning to lose touch with that 22, so he's got to keep him within draft range here with just 6 minutes remaining. But behind them, though, Kucera and O'Gorman are really tight. Look from above here, you can see how, well, as soon as they get through the trees, you can see how tight they are. Rob Wilkinson, does he have anything to say about this? Alessandrini's closing in. This whole top group is getting closer and closer. They're all within striking distance now. If one car makes a mistake, the rest will be ready to pounce. Side by side for the lead, 5.5 minutes to go. It's Justin Hilly to the top spot now. Robert Kucera's looking. Which driver is he going to go with the push? Looks like he's going to push Hilly to the lead. To the inside, going to throw it 3 wide for a moment, thinks better of it, and John D. Allen shoves his way through and will hold on to 2nd, but look at Tom O'Gorman with the crossover on Kucera. He'll take 3rd spot away, look for 2nd on John Allen as they come through the final corner. 2 done in 1 corner for the 94, put Tom O'Gorman 2nd. Look at McGrew now, doing the same thing, and Wilkinson popping out of line. 2 by 2, Wilkinson takes over 5th. Make it 4th now as they climb the hill. Where the one car's a little bit wide, he might have cut the course a little bit here. It looks like he did. He's going to have to give a couple spots away. Allen almost off course here as well. O'Gorman closing in on Hilly for the lead. Oh, we got carnage. We got a huge crash towards the back. It's John Allen. He's in the fence. John Allen, the car is destroyed down that 22 car. Race over for one of the dominant cars of the night. Here's a look from up above. Did he have any help from Kucera? All by himself, exactly. Oh, he got a little bit of help there at the end, and huge impact into the concrete wall. John D. Allen's night is over. But for the lead, it's still Hilly and O'Gorman as they track down the back straightaway. 4 minutes to go now. Hilly, Gorman, Kucera, Wilkinson, Alessandrini, your top 5. O'Gorman's looking for a pass. Here he comes to the inside. The 94 to the lead, to the top spot. He's going to clear Justin Hilly. Can he drive away with it with 3.5 minutes to go? This would be O'Gorman's first victory in this series. But now he's got to hold off the 48 again as he tries to cross him over. O'Gorman goes defensive. Here comes Kucera, though. He's looking behind and don't look too far back to find Rob Wilkinson in the 37. He's just waiting for one of these guys to get into each other. Wilkinson misses apex here, and looks like Alessandrini's not going to have any of that. He'll take that spot away, move the 25 up to 4th place. Can Alessandrini, does he even have time to get up here? We're 2x2 to the inside of the 37. He's going to shove him wide. The 37 car in the grass. He's going to cut the course. We'll have to give up some time. And now Luke McGrew, Hauseal, and that's the 82 of Coutil all together at the bottom of the S's. But for the lead, it's still O'Gorman and Hilly. Incredible racing here in the top spots. Where's Kenton Cook, do you ask? He is all the way back in 32nd, so not a great race for him. You see Pruden in the fence behind him. Big lick out of the final corner. That car is destroyed. But up front still, Tom O'Gorman by 1/10 of a second over Hilly. Any of these top 9 cars really have a shot to win this thing. Presumably, if they could just close up the gap just a little bit. Now you see the 48 of Hilly back to the inside of O'Gorman. There's no defending you can do here, but what does Kucera do? He's going to push the 94. No, he's going to switch lines now and follow the 48 down the hill. Hilly back to the lead, clears the 94 before the corner. How about behind him? Look at Eric Coutil and Rob Wilkinson. There's a little bit of damage, and looks like Coutil's going to get shoved wide by the 37. A little bit of pushing and shoving here, a little bit of patience going away as the lead changes positions again as the 94 looks to the inside. No dominant car so far tonight. O'Gorman and Hilly have traded spots several times the last couple of laps. It's all about momentum. This should be 2 laps to go now. Up the hill we come, back to the curb. O'Gorman slipped there a little bit on exit, and that's going to give Hilly a great opportunity to come and steal this position back. But again, it's just going to be a game of cat and mouse, very much like a restrictor plate race and a NASCAR event is done. Draft, slingshot, pass, but you can't do it too soon or someone will do it back to you. Look at 3rd place changing positions now. DJ Alessandrini, can he possibly steal his way into this fight late in the going? He is closing in the outside of Kucera. A little bit of side-by-side action here, but not able to get the pass done. Wilkinson is slowing this other group behind. A little bit of contact there, and Ken Hauseal has been disqualified. So Ken Hauseal in the 23 car, contact there. The DQ limit has been reached as Kucera and Alessandrini run side by side behind the top 2. Hilly is tucked back in line here. This race is not over yet, folks. There's 42 seconds left. It's going to be 1 lap to go when we get back to the line. It's going to be about 2.5 more miles around this racetrack. Alessandrini clears Kucera for 3rd, but the battle is all up front right now. With 25 seconds to go, white flag in the air. Justin Hilly in the 48. Can he beat Tom O'Gorman, the Michelin Pilot Challenge driver who won in TCR at Daytona a few weeks ago? He's got to get by him to win here in the hashtag Grid Life iRacer series. Down the hill we come. O'Gorman's going to have to be perfect. He's going to have to go defensive. Does Alessandrini get himself close enough to make a shot at this? Up over the curbs on exit. Who's more aggressive? It looked like Alessandrini was the top most aggressive driver out of that group. Look at Coutil and McGrew fighting behind, but right now it's the top 3 now. Alessandrini from 10th to 3rd. On the last lap, he might have a chance to steal this one away from the top 2. A couple corners left. Alessandrini sitting in a fantastic spot to just make a huge upset here as they draft down the back straightaway. O'Gorman's going to have to be as defensive as possible. Which line do you take? Do you go defensive and hope that you can hold it? Do you go on the preferred line and hope they overshoot? It looks like he's going to stay defensive. Hilly to the outside. Alessandrini following the 94 car. He's going to push Tom O'Gorman through. Look to the inside. No, not 3 wide. Hilly to the top spot. O'Gorman crosses over to the outside. Through the chicane one final time. Kucera and Alessandrini bang doors for 3rd. 2 more corners left. 3rd place is decided. Coming back to the checkers, O'Gorman's going to cross him over. Can he get to the inside? Here he comes. Final corner pass. Tom O'Gorman slips at the end, slides across the line. The race goes to Justin Hilly in the 48 by 59 thousandths of a second. What an incredible, incredible finish. 59 thousandths of a second. Wow. The rest of the field comes on through. Cocker in the 187. Dan McVicker, Jeff Pritchard, Jacob Reel, and others coming across the line. Andrew Lanning in the 18. Thomas Foose in the 27s coming out of the final corner. Kenton Cook, not a scratch on that car, but he'll come home in 24th. Make that 20. Yeah, that is 24th. All right, we have to go back and watch that replay, though, of that final corner pass, because that was one of the most intense finishes I've ever seen in iRacing. Here's a look from up above. Coming to the checkers, the 94 got to the inside, hooked the curb, spun around. Wow, what an incredible, incredible last lap moment here. I have never seen anything like that. That is just absolutely phenomenal racing. I don't even know what to say to that. Here, let's watch from third place Alessandrini, who is following these two leaders. You see the 94 hook the curb and slide across the start-finish line in second, 59 thousandths of a second behind Hilly. And then behind, you see the 94 slide back across the racetrack and collect Luke McGrew. Big contact there. I want to get another look from a couple more angles, as many as I can. How about Tom O'Gorman's roll bar here? And he probably thinks he has it. Hooks the curb just a little bit too much and slips across the pavement. And then backs across the racetrack and gets drilled. Luke McGrew goes flying through the air, but what an incredible, incredible moment here. Wow. All right, well, that concludes race number 2 here at Road Atlanta. What an incredible finish. We keep saying it, but that is just some of the best racing you're going to see in iRacing, period. Here is a look at your results. Justin Hilly by 59 thousandths of a second over Tom O'Gorman. I've never seen anything like that in my life. DJ Alessandrini in third, an incredible drive forward from him after he was pretty much ninth coming to 2 or 3 laps ago. Nathan Schlavine in 11th. Where did he started? I believe pretty deep in the field once again. Christopher Potter rebounds after a race 1 incident for 12th. Danny Hagford in 13th in the 26th. How about Rob Wilkinson? He's going to all the way finish in 25th. Didn't see what happened to him. So a poor finish for the 37 car. Bradley Adams in 26th in the 69. Frank Schwartz in the 24 and 30th. John Allen, a disappointing 37th after making hard contact with the concrete at the bottom of the S's. So that'll be a 37th place finish for Allen. And the rest of the field scrolling on through. But an incredible finish here at Road Atlanta. We'll be back with interviews in just a moment. Don't go anywhere. Let's hear the drivers talk about that last lap pass. Welcome back live here to Sim TV. I am out of breath. I need a drink of water, but we're here with Eric Coutil
Yeah,
now.
me too. I'm sweating. Oh man, those were like probably my two best races right there. That was fun. The first race, I just wanted to finish in the top 5, so I was kind of playing it easy. Me and Tom got together a little bit in turn 7, but he ended up going off in turn 5 a lap later. But that second race was intense. I don't know how Tom made his way up through the pack that quick. I was kind of stuck behind DJ because I figured DJ would just make his way through and I would just follow him. But we seemed to be stuck like in 8th position back there. And I think I got a black flag at the end for cutting a 10A and then had to gain some of those positions back. But that was an amazing race. I'm still kind of sweating over here. That was nuts. It was a lot of fun.
It was fantastic indeed. But last week at Watkins Glen wasn't really a fantastic week for you. So,
no.
So as we look forward to the point situation, obviously that puts you in a pretty big hole. So has the image shifted away from championship picture to more just collecting race victories?
Yeah, I've been having a bad luck streak like the past couple of months here, and either it's a mistake I make or someone else makes and I get involved. So I'm just happy I finished 2 races in a row without making a big mistake. So I just want to have fun, finish some races, get some solid finishes here, and not try to ruin anybody else's race in the championship.
What's the intensity like? Obviously, those top 9 cars really broke away. So is everyone working together or trying to work together, or is it just something that it looks like you're working together when in reality it's just kind of a free for all?
I think me, Tom, and DJ were in a chat in that second race, so we were trying to work together, and I think Rob was kind of not having it. So I think he might have been slowing us down a little bit at the beginning, but then eventually he kind of fell into line, and then we all kind of started gaining up to that front pack, because we had like a 2-second gap near there in the middle, but like we gained, and then we had a good race near the end. So you really need to work together with these cars, because we're all running 10/10s out there, and all these guys are really good drivers. So I think if you don't work together, you're going to get screwed and caught out of the draft. It's kind of like restrictor plate racing.
I actually likened it to that quite a bit. Actually, you came across the line. It wasn't just the top 2 spots that were close. You came across the line 93 thousandths of a second ahead of Luke McGrew. Walk us through those final corners.
Yeah, I mean, so I had to give up that position because I had to slow down because of the black flag. And then I was just trying to get that position back. So I had the inside coming to 10A, and I knew if I just kind of held the inside in both corners, he wouldn't be able to get that up and under run on me. And then I think that worked. He kind of gave me a bump out of 10B, and then it was just kind of smooth sailing from there. I don't think he could have passed me anyway, but it was good racing, really clean with everybody up in the top 10. Like, really respect these guys, and it's kind of crazy how far we've come with this kind of racing. I don't think I've seen a better race yet.
Eric Coutil, 5th place. Thanks for talking to us, and congrats on that.
Thank
That
you,
was an
appreciate
awesome
it.
race.
Yeah, thanks, man.
We'll talk to you later.
Bye.
Next
Best way we could do is have
DJ.
track marshal, and if you... Oh, hey.
Hey, what's up? I started to pull you from your conversation. Well, race 1 victory and race 2 a podium after coming from 10th place. Frantic final moments in this race. Walk us through those last 2 laps.
Oh, so I was hanging out at 10 incident points with a 14 incident point cap. There's just a couple dumb 4Xs during that race. So I just... for most of the race, I was just trying to play it super safe and not touch any car under any circumstance, not even a bump draft. Like, I wanted to give Tom a bump going down the final straight on the last lap, so him and Justin would be side by side going into 10A, 10B, and that was going to give me my best shot to win the race. But I just couldn't risk the 4X, unfortunately. So I just had to choke back, and then I was under attack from Robert. And so I had to defend that. And luckily, he kind of gave me some room on the right because it surprised me a little bit. And I didn't really quite put the car where I wanted it going into 10A, 10B. So thank you to Robert for not just stuffing it in there for a 3rd place finish. Because he probably could have if he knew what my incident situation was, just because, man, a DQ would have completely ruined the season for me after a tough week last week.
There's a lot of risk and a lot of reward here in this series, but just walk us through also the race 1 victory, going for that pass on Ken Halseal in the final corners. What's the strategy when you're on that last lap? And obviously, this is one of those unique tracks that you can make a pass in the chicane and then get passed again before that checkered flag. So what's the strategy there on the last lap?
So actually, the strategy started with 3 laps to go. I knew we were just going to keep jumping positions, and I was in the wrong order, so I made a move on him on the front straight, and then that put me in the correct order to jump him on the last lap. So that my strategy actually started with 3 laps to go. And then it was just kind of playing the leapfrog game and trying to keep in that order. If you notice, I could have made a move on him turn 1 going into the last lap, but there's no reason to, because I knew just I had to get a good exit out of 7, and hopefully Ken doesn't completely crush it, and then just fight for the inside. And if it's the outside, then maybe put the elbows out a little bit and go for the win. Nobody out here is aiming for second place. We're all going for the win, even the guy in 3rd and 4th on the last lap.
Another fantastic race for DJ Alessandrini. Congrats on 2 podiums tonight, and we'll see you next week.
All right, thanks, Kyle.
No problem. Next, we're going to talk to second place Tom O'Gorman. Tom, I have no words for what happened there, that final corner. That was some spectacular racing that we saw. Obviously, he came up 59 thousandths of a second short. Walk us through those final couple corners.
Yeah, hey Kyle. It was awesome. I was kind of just hoping for the best makeup from race 1 when I threw it away in race 1. So just kind of picking off people one by one, and I had the opportunity to start leading, and then it's just the slow drafting chess match of who's going to be where in the last lap, and got the run. And I'm on a single monitor, so I have kind of a hard time telling what's going on alongside me. So I wanted to make sure I didn't hit him in the final corner, hit Justin in the final corner. So he left me more than enough room to not end up spinning across the line, but hopefully look good on TV, and and that's what we got.
Well, it certainly looked good on TV, but I want to talk a little bit about just the planning coming up to that, especially when you have guys that are extremely fast, like DJ Alessandrini hunting you guys down in the mirror. Was that worrying you in the closing laps when you saw that 25 car getting closer?
Yeah, I was definitely paying attention behind me, but Justin he's a spec Miata national champion, so if anybody gets how to race these MX-5 Cup cars, it's Justin. So we had one opportunity right before the white flag to break away, and he pushed me up the back straight rather than go around me. And that gave us just enough, to really not have to deal with them in the last lap on the 10A, 10B. And then I think I got lucky with another car attacking DJ a little bit into 10A, 10B, and I went for the over-under, and we held him off.
All right, well, Tom O'Gorman, a second place for tonight. Congratulations, and we'll see you next week.
Thank you, sir.
Now we're going to talk to race winner Justin Hilly, driver of the number 48 car. Justin, an incredible race all around, but coming home victorious, 59 thousandths of a second over Tom O'Gorman. That's got to be ranking up there as one of your best iRacing victories, I have to imagine.
It was, for sure. This whole series has been at the top of my list for iRacing experiences. That one is definitely up there. Thought I gave him just the curb, but it looked like I gave him enough room, and unfortunately he spun, but fortunately for me, I took the win, and it was beginning to end. It was a fight, and that's how it should be.
I asked Tom O'Gorman the same question here, but when you have guys that are extremely fast, let's say guys like DJ Alessandrini, Ken House-Seal, Rob Wilkinson, when you're racing for the lead and you've got a mirror full of Tom O'Gorman, is there something in the back of your mind that's looking past the 94 and looking more towards guys like Alessandrini and House-Seal that are coming up fast?
Yeah, definitely. I think at one point Tom and I had gapped that group because everybody from third place on back wants to get where Tom and I are, and they were fighting for it. So I figured if I would hang with Tom and just push him for a lap, then maybe we could keep a gap and it would just be between us and the last lap. So yeah, definitely we're looking at that. I saw DJ coming, and I knew that we weren't going to be able to hold him back because he's been really, really good for a long time. So yeah, that's definitely a factor.
All right, well, race winner, driver number 48 car, Justin, thanks for talking to us, and we'll see you next week. Hopefully you can get another victory.
Thank you.
And that will wrap up interviews here tonight. And before we let everyone go, we would like to ask everyone that if you have not hit that subscribe button yet, we got plenty of racing left coming on this channel in 2019, as well as vlog-style events coming for local dirt tracks, as well as my trips to Watkins Glen this summer. So we got all sorts of cool events coming on. We also have a live stream running right now at Kansas Motor Speedway for the Fuel Host Venom Cup Series. That's Finian and new Sim TV commentator Jarrett Mackey. They're over there right now. The link is in the description. And if you haven't hit that red button and that bell, go ahead and do that so you can stay updated whenever we go live. From Road Atlanta and Sim TV, I'm Kyle Heyer. We'll see you next week. Have a good night.